I'm nervous to try to get my year-long journey in 15 minutes. That's going to be a challenge, but I'm just so excited to be here and to get to share this journey, even during worship. I already know I'm going to get emotional. I probably should get a heads up because this isn't just a story. This is literally my life. This is it's going to be emotional, y'all. Let's go on this roller coaster with me. So, let's backtrack a little bit. So this was actually, it's going to be 1 year, I think next week exactly. And I'm so thankful that I didn't get the chance to share this testimony before, because I think my miracle would have just ended at this healing, but I feel like it was like the pre-miracle to the other miracle, and it's just been a journey unfolding and unfolding. So for those of you who don't know me, my name's Angela, and I, a year ago, was pregnant with my daughter, my second daughter. We have an older daughter. Well, she's not that much older. They're only 10 and a half months apart, my girls. So I had one daughter, and 3 months later I got pregnant with our second daughter, and everything was fine, as normal as it could be. And then I started getting sick, and I thought it was nothing, because at this point COVID wasn't like actually a thing. And obviously, sorry, it wasn't nothing. It started getting sicker. So what happened was nobody was masked up yet. Everything was kind of still in the early stages of Corona. And I went to the hospital because I just started getting so short of breath. Every single breath, my lungs would just hurt and hurt. And my husband was just like, Ange, you need to go in. I'm like, no, it's okay, I'm fine, I'll be okay. And he's like, no, you really need to go in. So I'm like, oh, okay, fine. And he couldn't go with me because the hospital's already being a little bit careful, so I didn't have anybody with me, but I'm like, okay, it's fine, whatever, I'll just go in. So I went in, and I started not feeling too great, and that picture that was up there, I was still pregnant with my daughter, second daughter, and unfortunately I started getting sicker and sicker and sicker, and I ended up getting intubated. And so basically they had to get I'm still pregnant actually in this picture too, with my daughter, my second daughter, which we didn't have a name for her picked out yet because I was only 7 months pregnant and we didn't know what we were going to name her. I really liked the name Ava. David wasn't really feeling it yet. And so before I got intubated, I remember just getting to the point where my lungs were just so tired. Like every single breath was just like, okay, I just need to get through 5 more minutes. A lot of people ask me, do you have fear? Did you have this and that? No, I had none of that. I was literally just focusing on not dying. Like, I'm like, I just need to get through 5 more minutes. I just need to get through 5 more minutes. And this is when the church stepped in. And I mean, I'm pretty sure half of you guys here would raise your hand if I asked you who prayed for me. You guys fought the fight for me. And during this time, I started getting a little bit better, and then I started getting worse. And obviously, this is all told to me from secondhand because I wasn't there. Well, I was, but I wasn't. Yeah. And so I started getting worse, and because I was pregnant, my lungs were kind of being pushed up by the baby. And so they're like, you know what, we're gonna have to induce labor, and we're gonna have to deliver the baby for her. And in hopes that if the baby were to come out, I'd have more room and my lungs would be able to be more effective at breathing. And so, sure enough, I had my baby while I was under the coma, and yes, praise God for that. And she miraculously did amazing. She was intubated for about a day as well because they gave me so many medications while I was under. And when she was born, she was a little bit stunned because of just all the relaxing medications they had to give me. And so sure enough, she was born super healthy, amazing, just this wonderful daughter. And David got to see her. And at this point, I was still intubated because unfortunately, I actually started getting worse. And so David had to name her by himself. And he ended up naming her Ava, obviously, can you imagine? She wanted Ava, but I'm not gonna name her Ava. But we didn't even talk about the middle name. He actually named her middle name Angela after me, and after I got up, I was like, what did he name her? Like, I literally don't know what's going on. But anyways, David got to see Avichka in the ICU. She's obviously extubated and doing better. And then, thank God, by all of your guys' prayers, God healed me to the point where I was able to get extubated. And it was so amazing. Obviously, huge thing, but I just came back to like, what is going on? I mean, I don't even know how to, 9 days I was intubated. And so those 9 days were just kind of a little bit of a blur. And there are 9 days that a lot happened within, you know? And so after that, I got to meet Avichka, so I have, I think, a picture of that. And this is our little Ava, which her name actually means breath of life. Just so sweet and so amazing. We had no idea that was gonna be her story. And I got to finally meet her and see her. And I remember just seeing her, and a lot of people asked me, like, what were your first feelings? And honestly, you guys, I felt so guilty. I was just like, I'm so sorry that you had to be intubated because of the medications that were given to me. And it's so like the devil to take a miracle and to make you feel bad about something else that you literally don't have control over. And I just remember just being like, I'm so sorry. I hadn't seen her for 20 days. I think it was 19 days actually, from when she was born to when I got to see her, because I had to get kept COVID negative and this and that. And I remember so many people would come up to me and they're just like, Angela, I'm so glad you're doing so good. You're such a miracle. But you guys, the reality is I was not doing good. I was a mess. After being this amazing miracle, God healed my body. He did this amazing miracle. But now I was in a place that I have never been in my entire life. I was sleeping maybe 2 hours every single night. My baby, this miracle baby, happened to be the hardest baby ever. She cried all the time. She was just yelling. My body was so tired. I lost 40 pounds during that time. I mean, obviously I gave birth, so that was maybe like, but she was only 4.5 pounds. So, I don't know, maybe 30 pounds of muscle I lost. So I couldn't shower without having to sit down because I was just so weak. My legs were weak, my arms were weak. David had to walk me from the couch to get to the kitchen table. I mean, every single thing, and all of me was so broken. And this is where my miracle is, because in this brokenness, I met Jesus like I've never met him before. All my life with God, a lot of my Christian walk with God, we were always conquering mountains. We were always doing amazing things. I always had goals. I always had visions. Jesus and we just partnered in everything we did. But I was in this season of brokenness, just complete brokenness, physically, emotionally, in every single way. And I was just like, God, I literally felt like Jesus himself was the Good Samaritan that was just like, Ange, let me bandage you. Let me take care of you. Let me be there for you. And I feel like so many of us, we have miracles, but God is not a partial miracle God. He is a full miracle God. He raised me from the dead, not only physically, but emotionally, and in every single part of my life. I feel like God, he said, Ange, an unhealthy Angela will never be able to achieve what a healthy Angela can. And this last year has been this journey of me unraveling the goodness of God, the gentleness of God. I literally felt so many times that God would just wrap me around and he'd just be like, Ange, it's okay, I got you. I'm meeting you where you're at. I'm meeting you right here, girl. You don't have to strive. Just I know you. I hear you. I see you. I see the hurt that you have. I see the pain that you have. I see the journey that you're in. It's not a need to be achieving. It's just a need to be abiding. And I feel like, you know, how Ali was saying today, she was reading that we are the temple, God is with us. I feel like that's so relevant to every single stage that you're in. God is with you when you are conquering mountains, when you have goals, when you have dreams, when God is just empowering you. He's giving you things to do. You have things that you want to achieve. You have so much in you. God is with you. But when you're in a season of complete brokenness, God is with you there too. He does not abandon us. He does not leave us. And I feel like through this entire journey, I have got to know God in such a gentle way that I have never been able to feel before. And man, I have so much to share, but I feel like the biggest thing that the testimony that God has been doing throughout this year is just to abide with him and what that looks like. And I really felt like preparing to share this testimony that God is saying that I am not done with miracles. I feel like there are people in this room that are believing for a miracle. And I just feel so strong that God says, hey, I'm not done. I'm not done. I might have done a miracle maybe 5 years ago, but I'm not done. Just because you had something great then doesn't mean I'm done now. Like God, He has more miracles, He has more miracles, He has more miracles. And so, can we just stand up real quick? I just want to pray over every single person here.